Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 20 Somethings TV. It is our last episode. Very sad. I'm Rachel here with Quigs and Nate, and today we're going to start off by looking back on the year, the chaotic year of 2020, but looking at the music and, our favorite music that we saw this year. The music industry has reportedly lost $30 billion in 2020 due to the pandemic, and a lot of artists seem to be taking a hiatus from the spotlight. But this past Friday, a lot of music came out. Taylor Swift, Kid Cudi, Jack Harlow, and Foster the People all came out with albums on Friday. I think people are getting back into it. This is Taylor Swift's second album in this whole year, only like 6 months apart. She came out with 2 albums, which is insane. Love her. So I'll ask you guys, what was your favorite music of 2020? Mine was Taylor Swift and maybe Ariana Grande.
I listen to all kinds of music, mainly just like rock music and pop music. So really, I listen to a bunch of stuff, nothing in particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's really embarrassing, but I think my favorite release was the emo EP that Trisha Paytas just dropped.
Oh my god.
It's called Sad Boy 2005, and it sounds so genuinely like it was made in 2005 by an emo band that I cannot get enough of it.
I think I
Keith
saw
is asking if is the person who knows David Dobrik, and the answer is yes, that Trisha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in and out of being canceled, so I can never tell if I should like her or see what she's doing. She's a problem.
I'm in New Frenemies podcast, and she's talking a lot openly about her mental illness and being this is what mental illness looks like, which
my career is mental illness. But yeah, so this year, also the Grammys nominations were announced a few weeks ago. People are very upset that The Weeknd's song "Blinding Lights," which came out this year, has no Grammy nominations, but say that's the most popular song. So I guess let's bring up the question of, do you think the Grammys is legit? Do you think they properly resonate with the popular music of the year?
I don't really pay much attention to it, but I'd say yes. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I've stopped paying so much attention to award shows over the last few years just because I feel like I finally have realized that they are not real. Especially the Grammys lately have just had so many controversies. People being what is this? You're only nominating white artists. You are almost purposefully brushing under the rug other artists. It's just it seems so rigged at this point that I'm surprised that people are still paying attention at all.
Yeah, the Grammys is supposed to be the most the biggest thing of music, and that's the most professional thing is that you win a Grammy, but it seems like people are just get more upset every year at what they say, so it should be interesting. I think the Grammys are in February, so we'll see who wins. But yeah, so the music industry, there was a lot of music that came out, but it seems like artists are just kind of taking a break, as they should, maybe. Someone pointed out that Taylor Swift, since she has come out with 2 albums in a span of 6 months, that she is doing she's usually one to put out albums for big hits and to make money, but this is a year where there's no revenue for music, they're not getting much, and she's still out here making music, so props to
How
her.
did you put out 2 albums in 6 months? Seems like a lot of music to put out in that time.
Yeah, she said I guess she went through a lot of quarantine. She said it was a product of isolation, and so she had a lot of time to just write and write and write. So it's very interesting, and she's such a pop star, but with this one she was I don't really care about the money I make. I don't care if it's the music gets popular. It's just here it is. Here's to cure your 2020 sadness.
But it's gonna get popular probably.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, good for her for just kind of throwing it out there.
I know. She announced it 12 hours before it was out. She's oh, by the way, this is happening. Everyone's okay. So anyway, now we're going to go on to another thing affected by COVID. Gina Raimondo, and she's governor of Rhode Island, and she's currently in quarantine. So Nate, could you tell us a little about that?
Yes, so this really stems from the director of the Department of Health, Nicole Alexander Scott. If you pay attention to the governor's briefings, she's always on the stage with her, and she tested positive on Thursday. So Governor Raimondo got tested twice, and she tested negative both times, but she's still quarantining until Thursday of this week. Um, but there was a picture going around. I don't know if you saw it at all. She was at a restaurant where they were doing this wine and paint party, and she was not wearing a mask. And people have been getting mad because she's not following her own rules that she's putting out there to stay at home. She's supposed to be like leading by example, but here she is drinking wine at a restaurant on a Friday night. What do you guys think about that?
It's definitely interesting. I mean, very hypocritical, but also at the same time, like, people say that she should have her private life. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like she's become a bit of a meme. Like, I see a lot of posts on Instagram of just like, Gina's watching and all that type of stuff. So she's kind of like, it's kind of sad that, like, and I was at home in Michigan and they had jokes about their governor and how, like, they're putting pictures of the governor in the window being like, she's always watching. So it's kind of sad that these governors who are making the rules are kind of becoming a joke. So I feel bad about that when they're just trying to, like, watch the safety of the people they watch over. But she does seem a little hypocritical of her to just, keep going out in front of a lot of people. It's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like once somebody becomes an elected official, like for their term as an elected official, they can do whatever they want after. But while they're in office, like, I don't think you can just like say something and then turn straight around and do the exact opposite. Like, sure, she's like an individual human, but like she has the responsibility like to the people of the state to be setting an example. Like, if they're governor, like it just any situation, even if your boss was like, you can't do that, and then started doing it, you would be like, okay, well, obviously I don't have to take this seriously. Like,
Yeah, and it's like if she wants people to follow the rules and they're already skeptical of the rules that she's putting out there, if she's breaking those rules and they're seeing that, then people are just going to break the rules even more, and then we get nowhere. So,
It's definitely interesting. I mean, yeah, when you do take office, you are, also taking on the part of a role model, always being watched and stuff. Not that a lot of leaders are good role models, but, in small little Rhode Island, you'd think, you should help out a little bit. Um, so our next topic is actually about the Zodiac Killer, long-term mystery, and his code has been cracked. So Quigs, could you tell us a little about that?
yeah, so the Zodiac Killer is a 50-ish, 50 plus year case from California of a serial killer. He killed a bunch of people, pretty typical serial killer stuff. But what is unique about this killer is that he would send these really like uncrackable ciphers to the police and like newspapers, almost to taunt them in a way. And one of his most famous ciphers is called the 340 cipher. It was delivered like to the police 51 years ago, and nobody has been able to crack it for those 51 years. Until recently, an international amateur group of code breakers basically just like stumbled upon the answer. I watched their video of them explaining what happened, and it was literally they were like guess and checking basically, and they cracked it. But when the San Francisco Police Department came out to comment about it, they really didn't say anything. They were like, the code got cracked, but this is an ongoing investigation, so we can't talk about it. And that kind of shocked me because I feel like a lot of things are going on that aren't getting the proper funding in the nation. So to know that like the Zodiac Killer case is still like fully open and being investigated is seems odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's a different viewpoint out there. Like, I'm sure some people think that maybe he will kill again, but to me it seems silly. So what do you guys think?
I mean, the killings were in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
That's when it was. So
Well,
he's
decade.
probably way dead by now. I- Yeah, there's definitely not a point. Like even if he's not dead, he's like super old and probably can't kill anyone.
I'm not sure if there's like an age limit. I feel like I've heard of like an age limit for cases. Like if it's open for a certain amount of time, they just like stop it. I feel like Zodiac Killer would be dead right by now. But it also is a way to keep people on their toes. Like I feel like a lot of like family members too, like for cases like that where it was such like a horrible guy, and they say they were to close it, I feel like there'd be some people who would be like, we still want justice, and like, why are you still doing all this? So yes, a lot of other things do need more attention, obviously, but yeah, it's interesting. What did the code mean? What did it end up saying?
Um, I don't remember like everything. It's three different sections,
Isn't
two
it like
ones, and then a
giving
little
you
one.
what?
I saw it on the news, and one of the things it said was I was not the guy on the TV or in the interview or something. So someone went on TV, they thought it was the killer, and then he said it wasn't.
Hmm, ominous.
Yeah, like somebody called in fake to be the killer, and they were like, "I'm afraid of the gas chamber,
Oh, yeah,
like being executed and stuff." So the Zodiac Killer apparently said he does not fear death because death is paradise, spelled very wrong.
Okay. Yep, sounds like a serial killer. So I guess yeah, that case will remain open. It's interesting that these people are still working on it. I didn't actually know that it was still open. I feel like the guy would be dead by now, but I guess we'll see if they still catch him someday. But it does seem like a lost cause, honestly. So I guess that is all the topics we have for today. I want to thank everyone for watching this season of 20 somethings. It was a great time. Talked about a lot of things, kept me, involved in society. So I'm Rachel. I'm here with Quigs and Nate signing off. And I hope everyone stays safe and healthy and has a better year than 2020. Goodbye, everyone.